Already? Well, good afternoon. First, I'd like to thank my wife, Mackenzie, and our two daughters, Lucy and Olivia, for joining me here today, as well, of course, as my parents, my mom and dad, Tony and Sue Pulliam. You know, during the New Year's Day movement where we were supporting our local small businesses, so many people asked me, where did this energy and support for local small business come from? And where it came from is, when I talked to those small business owners and I looked into their eyes, what I saw looking back at me was Tony and Sue Pulliam, my mom and dad. Growing up in their house, I watched as they dreamed big. And my dad was working 2 jobs. They decided to go start their own transportation company, their own small business. And I watched as they got that first crummy truck that needed a push just to start. Had a telephone on our dining room table that rang maybe 2 times a day, and it grew into a business that put us kids all through college and really left me with an unwavering belief in the American dream. I've also been one of those fortunate, lucky souls to serve as mayor of my hometown, of Sandy. And it was there earlier this afternoon that I gave remarks for my State of the City address, where I discussed the crossroads that my hometown of Sandy faced just 2 short years ago, as well as the tremendous progress we have made as a community to secure a wonderful future for our city. This included investments in law enforcement, infrastructure, transportation planning, and enhancements to our Main Street so that our small businesses could survive these lockdown shutdowns and thrive into the future. When I look at my home state of Oregon, when I look at my home state of Sandy, I still see my home state of Oregon, its pioneer spirit, its collaborative and supportive network of families, small businesses, faith communities, and local government. It makes me wonder why we're constantly so disappointed by our ruling elected elite with such an intrepid population of Oregonians standing behind them. Our state agencies have been besieged by waste, corruption, and incompetence. We have all watched as family and friends have decided to leave our state of Oregon to other states with far less restrictive lockdown restrictions and a lot more common sense COVID-19 matrices. We've watched as those businesses have decided to open out of sheer desperation and watched as they've been crucified as state agencies have besieged them with fines and administrative punishment. We've watched as our students have suffered in isolation and underachievement, while their parents have worked to balance at-home virtual learning with their own careers, all while they watch government teacher unions and the extreme far-left activists continue to push our local school boards into furthering lockdowns and not allowing our students back into the classroom. The city of Portland has become a national laughingstock with mass homelessness, violent crime, open drug use, and skyrocketing violence. The district attorney of Multnomah County has essentially legalized violent crime through catch and release policies, which reward criminals who just happen to share their extreme far left-wing ideology. Businesses in Portland have been forced to turn to private security firms because they could no longer rely on a Portland Police Bureau who are hamstrung by an extreme left-wing Portland City Council and can no longer be relied upon to protect property or even life. Our schools are ranked last while we lead the way in lawlessness. And I've had enough. My breaking point has been reached. And that is why this afternoon I am announcing an exploratory committee to serve as the next governor of Oregon, because we need to bring common sense and balance back to Salem. It's time we have a governor who represents all Oregonians, not just the extreme activists in Portland and the corporate special interests. I'm the mayor of Sandy, one of the fastest growing cities in Oregon. Now, as I discussed earlier today, we do things just a little differently here than what Oregonians are used to seeing out of Salem these last 40 years. As a nonpartisan executive, I have experience in law enforcement, infrastructure, economic development, and more. Even through the crisis of this past year, we've been able to work together to get things done, to support our working families, and to support our local small businesses and not stand idly by while we watch our community fall apart. Our current governor, on the other hand, has ruled with a cold smugness inside the bubble of the ruling elite, continuing to work backroom deals, ignore evidence of lockdown ineffectiveness, as well as prioritize the wish lists of their campaign contributors. Maybe it's time for another approach. Maybe Oregon needs a mayor for governor. That is why I will be traveling the state over the next couple of weeks, joining other mayors throughout Oregon to visit their communities on a listening tour, which I believe will lead to a united vision that will unite this great state and move us forward into the future stronger and more united than ever before. Additionally, I'll be asking for your feedback and your support on how we can heal Oregon together and return us to our pioneer glory of innovation, fortitude, and freedom. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.